Look, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't realise. All right, guys, how's it going? So Remy, my rescue dog, he's just to the left of us. Is it left to you? It's left to me. And he's been whinging out there, you know, like, I was like, shut up, what's your problem and all that. Didn't realise it was raining. Well, it's a div. You could get in his kennel. Coffee. How you doing, guys? You all right? Yeah, I thought we'd have a cup of coffee. And it's a good time for a Negro, I think, don't you? What? I mean, Negro. I worked when all Luis Suarez on, you're out like that. Remy? Listen, when you're a chubster like me, you're not supposed to eat chocolate, you know what I'm saying? Although chubsters tend to eat chocolate. But I do the low carb, the keto, you know, I don't really have any carbs in my life. So that's dark chocolate, all right? 72% cocoa, whatever you pronounce it. Cacao in Espanol. And when I used to have that kind of chocolate as a kid, it was disgusting. It probably would be to you guys. But because I don't have sugar in my diet, it tastes beautiful. Just saying. But wait in a minute. I like doing these intros just to annoy people that are casual viewers that are sat there going, get on with it. No. Might have another piece. In fact, I am going to have another piece. And I'm going to throw the bag over there, otherwise I'll be stood here all day. And yeah, anyway, so uno más, one more. Uno más en español, see? No entiendo. In Spanish, that means I don't understand. Okay, it's like a Spanish lesson. Oi, come in here. Oi. Get in. You know, it's like having her back. I don't want him going in lounge when he's wet, you know what I'm saying? So, my long-term viewers know that this is my area where I stand to make a cup of tea or a cup of coffee. And we have a little natter. Fuck me, that chocolate was nice. I bet you never thought you'd see the day when I'd be sucking or chewing on a Negro. Okay, I've maxed that one out. How are you doing, guys? All right. 35 million fucking quid. Can you believe that? 35 million. Fabrizio Romano. Mo Salah. Now, where did it? No, so he will be right, you know, he'll know, because he genuinely is connected to quite a few ways. He's got friends that are agents and things. He'll know. I would imagine that there's stuff on top of that. But anyway, potentially. But if you think about it, £35 million is what we paid for Andy Carroll 12 years ago. 12 years ago. Just over 12 years ago. January, was it? 2011? Was that when it was? 35 million then and 35 million now. And yet there's still someone in the comments section of my last video that he's never happy, I've got to be honest. You're all right, though, I do appreciate your comments. But he's saying, like, you know, that we're all being top reds and FSG stooges or what. That's not, he didn't use that word, but basically I think he thinks that we've all had our wool pulled up. Is wool pulled over your eyes? Whatever. He's basically unhappy. He's saying that everyone thinks he's going to be the new Iniesta or something. I ain't heard a single person say that, to be honest with you. I think people just said, hey, great player, he'll do well at Liverpool. 35 million. Now 35 million has come out since that video, which makes it even more ridiculous and more of a great signing. And can you really... How could... Look, I'm not a fan of FSG, do you know what I mean? And if you want me to be honest, I am FSG out. You know, I'd rather the work there. But they're very much FSG in at the moment. And subsequently, there's no point me sulking and crying about it every single time I make a video, because that's the way it is, and I'll judge them each season or each year. I don't expect it to change. I don't think at the end of the window I'll be going, oh my God, amazing owners. But I don't know. There's sometimes people come on my videos and they just leave, you know, like, I don't understand how nobody could welcome this signing. Do you know what I mean? Even if you thought, well, we should have signed Bellingham, which we all, you know, would agree with, we've still signed a quality, as Rafa would say, player, and, you know, and added him to the squad, again, as Rafa would say. So why would you be negative about it? I'm not having a dig at you. I'm not having a dig at you, because you comment on all my videos, but you comments are usually all about FSG and that, you know what I mean? And I get it. I do get it. I understand your feelings, and I agree with a lot of what you're saying. But honestly, I can't see a negative in signing Alexis McAllister. He's a World Cup winner as well. Do you know what I'm saying? And not just, you know, for Argentina. So he's a Liverpool player now. Come on. Do you know what I mean? And it's whatever you think of FSG, you know, they're not responsible for that signing anyway. Do you know what I mean? They don't even know who he is. But I tell you what, guys, got me thinking. I remember information supplied to me, multiple people, multiple occasions, a while ago, a couple of months back, and it was all along the lines of, Dunk, what happens with McAllister will greatly affect what might happen with other deals. Do you remember that? That was a line that was being trotted out, right? Just think about that for a minute. So at the time, I think that we were pursuing Ugarte, right? And it was like, well, it depends what happens with McAllister. That one. I don't know. Wait, stop licking it. See, he comes in here, this dog, and he goes, the cat's just coming, by the way. And he's sticking his tongue in places he shouldn't be doing that. Get up! Fucking dirty little fucker. Get up. She's not your girlfriend. If you ever get blown out by a chick and she ends up with another fella, and he's like, you know, being smart about it, just remind him where her tongue's been. Next time, you know what I mean? Just say, next time you're having a kiss, just remember where, you know what I'm saying? So, this is what I'm thinking, right? I'm thinking, I'm speculating, all right? I don't need to come on here and go, I know this, I know that, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We're no Twitter ITK around here. We're fully grown adults. Some of us a bit more grown than others should be, right? But you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking when Liverpool went for McAllister, they didn't know the ins and outs of that clause in that contract. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, that sounds a bit naive, don't? But if you remember, the reporting around the time was along the lines of, there is a clause believed to be in his contract with Brighton, but it's complicated and it needs working out, kind of thing, right? Do you remember that? That's what I can. If you don't remember that, that's what it was basically. What the credible journalists were saying, and also the journalists that are in the LFC clique, all right? They all toward the line agree with each other. And then the people like me, even further down the chain. Absolutely. So I think that Liverpool knew about that clause, right? But not to the extent of potentially £35 million, which is ridiculous, guys. Okay, so I genuinely believe that Liverpool were willing to pay in excess of £60 million for this player. That's based on what was said to me a long, long time ago from people that I trust. You don't have to trust them. You don't have to believe me, but I trust them. I've known them for decades. I know where they work. I know what they're privy to. And for me, I think Liverpool were willing to pay quite a lot of money for McAllister. Because I think that's why we were then getting that vibe of, well, you know, what happens with Ugarte, for example, because that was relevant at the time. It isn't now, but depends a lot on what happens with McAllister. Will they have the... So what I'm trying to say to you here is Liverpool have got lucky, right? I think Liverpool have got lucky, and I think that's a good sign for us, because that means if you think what they might have paid out for McAllister, if we assume that the 35 million minimum or whatever is true, then that is the money that they've saved. If they were going to pay 60 to 70, that's another player. In very simplest terms, do you know what I mean? Because it's not just a transfer fee; you've got to pay salaries and shit like that. That could be Uriah Ravenberg, for example, whatever it's called, which would explain why they stacked that one. I use a term called stacked when the club, for sure, Rafa, Tomics. When they stack a deal, that's when I think the club go, he wants to move to us, the agent wants it to happen, the club will sell, we can push that through later, or we're very confident we can do that. So I think the Ryan Ravenberg, whatever it's called, I think that's stacked. I think that's one of them where Liverpool are like, maybe we can do that later. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think. I don't know that, guys. I'm just, speculating. I think it's a good thing. I think 35 million is a steal. And do you know what I think will happen now? Do you not think the likes of James Pearce and that, right, the clique, the journalists, do you not think they've been very quiet about it all? Really? I think they have. And I think that they won't like that Fabrizio Romano, Mo Salah, is very close to PSG. He's not. But you know what I mean, right? I think that people like, right, let's just say, I think that the journalists in that clique will feel like their nose is being put out a bit, right? Because Fabrizio Romano has led pretty well with this, which means he's got a good relationship with the agent. No, it's not difficult to work out, is it? So, what I think will happen now is I think James Pearce, for example, no offence, James, got nothing against you, right? It's football, right? We were allowed opinions. I know you've got one of me, right? But I think James Pearce will come out and contradict that 35 million. I think he'll add something that'll make it piss on your parade a little bit. You know, like, well, it's a £35 million minimum, but with £100 million to be paid. Do you know what I mean? No, it's not going to be that. But what I mean is, I think that I might be totally unfair saying James Pearce here, but I'm waiting for him to chime in. And I think that I can imagine him or one of the others coming out with, like, just something that makes it look like Fabrizio Romano is not wrong, but is a little bit, like, off with it a little bit. That's just a prediction, right? It's just a prediction. I may be wrong. Let us see, right? If Paul Joyce comes out and says it's 45 million, I'm afraid I'm going to believe Paul Joyce because, and I wouldn't think it was him trying to piss on our parade. He's got nothing to prove, in my opinion, Paul Joyce. I'm not bigging Paul Joyce up to the point of, like, you know, that you should believe every single thing he says. Many things he says that didn't happen. I think, what did he say about, was it not Virgil van Dijk or was it Alisson? He said it's not going to happen or something. I don't know, you know what I mean? But things change in football and we have to understand that. It's very easy to single them out when things go wrong. But what I'm trying to say is I don't think Paul Joyce gives a fuck what any of us think about him. Whereas I think some of them journalists in that clique do. All right? So I wouldn't be surprised if you see contradictory claims by them. I don't know, I'm just having a bit in there. Like, I know you're probably not even bothered about that. But it's something that's been on my mind today, and I just think, I want to see, because I reckon someone will try and make Fabrizio look a little bit silly. I might be wrong. We know that if you watch my previous, someone's mentioned me in the comments. Oh, it's just some randomers on Facebook. What was I going to say? If you watch my previous video, we have an absolutely outstanding contributor on the members website who posted something on there today about Kone, right? And in summary, saying that formal talks were going to take place this afternoon in relation to him. Now, this isn't a ploy for you to go on the members website because there's nothing else in relation to that. Literally, it was one sentence, and I am sharing that here with you, okay? So if you hear anything on Kone today, this afternoon, it might be accurate, I don't know. You can trust that person. Any of the members that have been with us for years will verify that, because it's probably our best contributor, to be honest with you. Well, that makes it sound like others are not good. No, he's just very reliable, you know, and we have some really top people on there, and he's exceptionally good, and there's a reason for that. So just in case you missed the previous video, he would know about certain financial transactions at the club and things like that, and which is how we know that the McAllister is done, and his opinion or his claim is that this afternoon Liverpool that's my mum's cat. That's my mum's cat. That my mum's been passed since 2012. And it looks like she's fallen to pieces. That cat's about 20 years old, and it went missing recently, as some of you know, and it really upset me. Do you know what I mean? It is like the last connection to my mum. And I don't know if you noticed, but under here there's a big collar. I don't know if you can see it. I bought an Apple AirTag and a collar so that if she ever goes missing again, I can hopefully find her, because I felt sick with worry. And a friend of mine actually had 2 dogs of theirs go missing in France recently, and I said the same thing. She's got them back, fortunately, but you can see it just under her neck. You know? A friend of mine had 2 dogs go missing in France recently. They were found some way away from where she lived, and I said, look, get an Apple AirTag. Remy's got one on him. Do you know what I mean? So you can get a collar. They're a little bit big on a cat, I've got to be honest, but she has there's no problem with it, but the dog is no problem. What I'm trying to say is, if you've got a pet that you love, get an Amazon, buy a pack of Amazon AirTags. You can buy the actual collar to go with it and stick it up. And you might think, nah, my cat's not going to go missing. I tell you what, it's one of the most upsetting and worrying things if they ever do. And it might not guarantee anything, but you might then think, fucking hell, if only I spent 20 quid and got one of them. I don't know, I think you get 4 for 50, can't you? So I don't know. Anyway. Plus you can drop one in your bird's handbag, you know what I mean, and keep a fucking eye on where she's going. No, wait for all boffins. Well, actually, it emits a signal to tell the I think we've done enough in this video. I've finished my coffee. I've done a lot of work today. I've done the Cop Talk podcast. I've done the Dunk Knows Best podcast. I've done a couple of videos. I want to go and do some writing now, really. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Can you believe it? It's still raining here on and off. Partridge, who's one of our long-time viewers on here, is he's coming out to Spain next week. A week today, I think I'm planning on meeting him. I'll just check the calendar, because I'm getting really organised now. It's only took 25 years. He comes in on Sunday, so one day next week I'm hoping to meet Brian and his good lady. Hopefully he'll get too drunk and go back to the room so I can stay with his missus, because she's well fit. He won't be watching. Partridge. I like Bryce. Good. That's it. That's all I've got to say to you. So, what was the video? What was the reason of the video? Well, a recap to tell you that the Kone talks are somewhere. I don't know anything else about that at the moment. They're taking place somewhere this afternoon. To what extent, I don't know. I mean, it could be virtual, it could be on a video call. Very unlikely, though, because people often say, well, why don't they just, what do you mean they're flying here and there? Why don't they have a video call? Do you really want to have your conversations recorded when you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing? Do you know what I'm saying? Whether it's audio or video. When I say things you shouldn't be doing, I don't mean when you're sat at your laptop or your desktop at home and you're knocking one out. You know, always cover the webcam. Have you ever received one of them emails where it says, we've been watching you? You what? You've got to be careful. I just get my flat cap, not my flat cap, any cap. I can just put it over the thing, you know what I mean? Not that I do anything like that. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so the directors, if you're sniffing around a player, like Remy was sniffing around that cat's ass a minute ago, if you, if you're maybe you haven't got consent to do that, because let's be honest, it happens, Do you really want a video call to fall into the hands of someone else? No. So that's why there are a lot of face-to-face meetings in football. So I expect there's something happening somewhere, probably nearby to Liverpool today, I would imagine. So I will be keeping my eyes and ears open in regards to that. And, initially I was thinking maybe we could only, when people talk about Kone and Thuram, whatever he's called, I was thinking maybe one or the other, maybe. But, I don't know. I won't rule anything out, mate, at the moment. I mean, Liverpool have done really well there. And I'm sure they're going to, have George there, won't they? Like as if he's been responsible for it all. I mean, we would do right to big him up, maybe. But I don't think he's responsible for that. But there you go. Look out for the spin that follows. And if we don't have a very successful transfer window, I would be looking back and thinking, hang on a minute, you got that fucker for 35 million, if that is accurate, So, that's Andy Carroll prices 12 years ago, guys. It's a good price. And don't be negative, guys. I know some of you are like, we all want the Bellinghams in the world and stuff like that, and I completely and wholeheartedly agree with you. But come on, we can dislike the owners, or I don't really want to say this. I don't know. It depends what day of the week it is. If it's Saturday night, I probably hate the fuckers because I'm sick of hearing anyone talking about them. But what I mean is, like, we can't do anything about that at the minute. Yes, we can. We can march the street. Well, go march the streets then, but not many people will turn up. At the moment, they're there, and we just have to accept what's happening and hope that there maybe is a club sale. And I genuinely believe that the club remains up for sale. Most people don't, and they think it's all a big ploy, it was just, No, I strongly disagree, and there's reasons I have that opinion. And I kind of would like to make a video about it, or speak to the members about it, but I did go on the members' website on Saturday, I think, and basically said, look, my latest thoughts regarding the club sale were that this is definitely still, a possibility. So again, you don't need to be on a members' website, because I've just told you. The members' website is for people that want to support me. Do you know what I mean? It's not about going on there for, do you know what I mean? It's just like, I try and do my best for everyone, and I try and keep all my content out here really with you guys. Sometimes you do have to keep some things more private, that's all. And there's many times when people say, I'd love to get you a drink or whatever, or want to support you if they appreciate your content. Some people can't do it because they can't afford it, but if they do, then there's a way of doing it, and the information's in the video description. Or you can click that little love heart under my videos. They're good, they put a smile on my face. Thank you, Jen, she did that earlier. But no, I mean, listen, you can thumbs up the video, cost you nothing. You can leave a comment and it costs you nothing. And as long as you continue to do that, they keep me going. I just want to read one very quick comment to you. You can switch off if you want. But I acknowledge these things. And there was a comment left on here yesterday. Okay, that's an email that's coming. Dunk, I've been watching your videos since I was 14 and you have always helped me through hard times. Thank you, Dunk, for the great videos and streams. You always have the best advice and the best knowledge of football. I don't know about that. Best advice, maybe when it comes to getting things fucking wrong in your life, you can listen to me. And I just put a lovely comment, however, I just wing it. I haven't a clue about anything I'm talking about, to be honest. But the bit that he said there was, you have always helped me through hard times. Now, that statement there, that's like a Cop Talk VIP membership coming in. Don't get me wrong, when someone joins the members website, it pings up on my phone and I go, nice one, I'll get some steak tonight, something like that. But what I mean is, that's very rewarding. Everything in life doesn't have to be financially rewarding. Do you know what I mean? When someone leaves a nice comment, it makes you think you're doing something right. And because I get so many nice comments on here, that's why I continue doing what I do. When I get that period where I get a couple of fucking idiots on here, I genuinely, even if you get one bad comment in 1,000, 999 good ones, one bad one, it can make you feel shit. And you go, do you know what? I don't know why I bother. I don't want to do it anymore. And I don't know why that is. You got 999 people saying, nice one. And you get one clown, that can just affect your mood. So I was thinking about this earlier today because I discussed it on my other podcast. And you won't believe how much of a difference it can make to someone's life when you encourage them. I'm not asking you to kiss my ass, or just to say, yeah, great video, if it's not. Because I know sometimes I do videos and I think, why did I fucking do that? but it's authentic, it's real. I try and keep it real, you know what I mean? And I'm just trying to say thank you, basically. So there's lots of ways you can support someone. It's the same way if you're in a relationship with a chick, do you know what I mean? You can go out there and buy the most expensive jewellery in the world, but you could buy her a £1 fucking keyring and she might go, that's really cute. It's the thought, innit? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, let's not get too soft on here. What we're going to do now, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon for me. Remy's out there destroying something, so it must have stopped raining. I've had my lunch and yeah, I don't know what to do really. Please subscribe to my other YouTube channel if you can be bothered, youtube.com/Duncan Oldham. We're doing, you know, quite a bit of gaming on there most nights now during the week. If you just sat at home chilling, doing now, you might want to join in, because there's a lot of people that come on the stream here that you'll see over there, you know, and they could talk about Liverpool as well. So that's good. Anyway, I'm going to get off. Please thumbs up and leave me a comment. I'm sure that you're delighted in the £35 million claim to do with the transfer fee. And like I said, actually the objective for this video was to say, I genuinely don't think Liverpool knew he was going to be 35 million, if that's true. Obviously, they worked out how that contract clause played out. So I'm trying to suggest to you that maybe there is room to do a little bit more than Liverpool thought initially. Do you know what I mean? I know a lot of you go, no, our owners, they'll be like, no, we can save that nice one. Yeah, you don't spend for the sake of spending, but I think the savings on this particular deal might help us elsewhere. That's what I think. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to hit the button and we'll speak to you real soon. Cheers, guys.